Welcome back to Armor Piercing Reroll, where our goal is to get a 260, 279, and Chieftain on the account without spending any money, shooting any gold, or playing any artillery. Let's get right to it. This time we're going to be taking on the T28 HTC missions, starting with LT-15. We've upgraded from the EBR Hotchkiss to the Lynx, which still has a stock gun, but the top gun is not much of an upgrade, so we actually got a pretty capable light tank for once. Real vehicles, Tier 8 Premium and the Tier 10 are very powerful. Lynx, I would just say, is pretty much standard. It goes fast, it's got next to no hit points, and the gun is not very good. Not nearly as accurate as on the EBR 75. But it can work for scouting sometimes. So, funnily enough, we're actually on Ensk on encounter. But LT-15 is just 4,000 combined damage, distance damage on 5 vehicles, and winning the battle. You get it with honors. So it's not a tall order. So my strategy here is we got a couple TDs in the back. Basically, if I can keep making runs without bleeding hit points everywhere, maybe I can get 3 shots. Lynx is hard to control, but it does have the advantage that it can kind of turn on a dime like that. Loses a lot of speed, but able to stay under the ridges and not bleed too hard. Fortunately, the Stirb high rolls me there. 488, that's the max roll, taking out over half my HP. On the other side, it's looking like we're probably going to lose that fight after a bit. Really, the most important thing for getting these light tank missions is just keeping yourself alive so that you can continue to make those runs. Now that I've gone dark, I can approach a little bit more safely, and I get spotted anyway. By taking this position over here, I kind of sacrifice a bit of my mobility. However, I have a better position for poking out and getting lights on the side where they're not going to be facing directly at me. Unfortunately, missed a cheeky shot on 54 lightweight. I'm going for another one and unluckily hit his track. Fortunately, he is not too attentive. This is never to get the shot off. So now their team is kind of funneling out of this area, which means that I want to be able to get some cross lights and cross shots for my team as they evacuate, or at least clean up the stragglers. Unfortunately, I have no chance of penning the Stirb with 90mm of as the Excalibur on a Lynx. Cannot overmatch 30mm of armor like the Stirb has. However, RD does not have such difficulties. So right about now, we've got 2137, so that's halfway to the 4K that we need to get this mission done. We've already got the 5 assistants. So basically, if we can just get another 400 there, another 400 here, we should be able to get the mission, no problem. Get a cheeky shot off on the charioteer, but I just, with only 51 hit points left, I just cannot afford to get killed if I want to finish this mission. We appear to pretty much completely lost the other side. We've got some heavily armored tanks over there. The VK, the other VK, the 75 are going to be tanks that I'm going to struggle to pen even from the sides. However, if I can get the tracking damage, it'll count. Or I can just get another 600 damage by shooting them, and that'll work too. Game's not won yet, but we do have an advantage, and all our tanks are in a pretty solid group with T95. Full health, charioteer full health, basically. Should have this in the bag. Basically, all I need to do is just not take dumb pokes and get killed, and we should be able to clean it up. I'll just speed this up in here so we can finish it up. And with that shot, I'm able to get T95s to be able to kill him. That finishes the mission for me. Now all we need to do is win. I figure, you know what, I'm going to have to do this mission again and see how high I can get. There, the Lynx 175 pen is showing. Yeah. Bounced. It looked like a flush shot on the side of the 75, but I think it was slightly angled. Heat shell, I don't think it's too much better. It's like 207. Yeah, that's not a particularly good heat shell, so we're not really missing out on too much there. And yeah, these wheeled vehicles like to just fly everywhere. With that track shot, or maybe this next one, I'm able to get another 1,000 or so. It leaves me at looks to be a little over 5,000 combined damage, which you know, better than 4,000, but not enough for the next mission. On to heavy tanks. So here we are with HD15 in the Caravan. We've just taken the liberty of moving all the way down south. We got a pretty big force going there, and they don't really have anything that they're trying to contend with, so we might as well move up and get some damage. So, Caravan actually has the same gun as the Conqueror from last video, with a little bit longer of a reload. It's got 5.6 seconds, 280 alpha, and 220 pen, which is actually really good at tier 8. Gold shell is not that great, but that is no concern to us. So for this time, we've got to get 6,000 combined damage, meaning cause, receive, and block, total 6,000 damage. Then we need to cause a total of 20% of our team's damage and win the battle. So 20% of our team's damage is also the same as a high caliber. Looking at about like 3,000, 3,500, I think, in this sort of battle. I was keeping track of it when I was doing the mission. And the Caravan's got, you know, pretty good gun depression, pretty good DPM, so we're just gonna do what we can to work these guys out and get some damage. Now, we've got cause, receive, and block. So obviously causing damage is not too much of a struggle, but we've got 1,600 hit points that we also need to get rid of if possible to hit that 6,000 cap. And then for blocking damage, the Caravan, it's got pretty reasonable armor, especially decent turret armor against these tier of tanks. But it's not too reliable just because, you know, gold shells and everything. So when we're trying to block damage, we'll see some more with the real big blocking damage missions, like the 3 times your hit point stuff when we get to those. But generally, you know, playing ridges and trying to keep your distance so that you can rely on the inaccuracy of the enemy's gun rather than just sheer armor. Make it a little bit easier to get a little bit of block damage. Of course, tier 6s and 7s that don't have that great a pen might contribute to the cause. So up north, it kind of looks like we're not too likely to win up there. They got a little bit of an overmatch. So basically, we just gotta hope that they decide to come back rather than going to cap us out. Because if they win that and cap us out, then that would be really sad. But we do know that most of their tanks are spotted, and most of their tanks are not going to be able to do anything about us. So we can take a little bit of a risky play. Now, honestly, Scorpion could 100% just shoot us in the side right now. But I kind of figured not too big of a deal. I've got the 600 hit points to get rid of anyway. So I decided to keep facing the E25 because I don't really want to get pet into the side. Honestly, probably just could have started moving on over, but not too big of a deal. So right now I figure we've got 2,500 damage on the clock, 1,600 hit points to get rid of, so that's about 4,100 total. So I figure about 2/3 done with the mission. Now, as long as those tanks up there north aren't too damaged, this shouldn't be too much of a struggle to get done with. So, might as well just move across the open field and get some of that damage in. So, unfortunately, I'm able to put that house in me and the AC-48. The AC-48 with a 1,200 damage clip could actually put it down on us. But he decides to go for easier targets rather than shooting us down. And naturally, the first big hit we take this game is from Artie, everybody's favorite class. Bye-bye. So the AC-48 retreats, reloading or just scared, doesn't matter. We can push across this open field and push right up to him. 2k left. Gotta get rid of these hit points and get a little bit more damage in. We should pretty handily be able to get to about like 3,500, 3,000 to secure the high caliber. And with those a couple guys getting on cap, we should have the win in the bag as well. And we're able to use our good gun depression turret to stop the AC-48 from shooting us there. He does not have the gun depression to get it on us. So I just push up because I just want him to shoot at me. If I'm down, hold down, he has a bad shot, he might not take the shot, so I don't mind exposing myself and even having a high probability of getting penned as long as I can get that damage under my belt. And that's it. I basically have no chance. 1375 dies, and I bounced this kid before like 6 more times, but he doesn't kill me. On to the next one. So we're going to move on to TD15. This time we're going to be taking out the Ferdinand. I've got the top gun on it, which has 246 pen, 490 alpha, about a 10-second reload. That's not too bad. Don't have the mobility upgrades, so it's very sluggish. The armor really doesn't hold up too well, but the gun works. So this time we got 3,000 damage, kill 3 enemy vehicles, and win. So really, it's not that tall of an order for a tier 8 tank. I almost got her in the Yag camp for a few times, but I have the experience to research the 30, so here we are. So I am platooned with somebody. Don't worry, he doesn't help. He's actually going to die very soon. So right now I'm just trying to see if I can get a nice shot into the hatch of that Patriot, and the gun really isn't helping me out. I know he can go for my lower hole, and he can probably go for my structure. I'm just hoping to be able to get a nice shot on him. Unfortunately, I'm not too lucky. Just yet. But he'd actually pretty much sweep through the other side. Not too much of a concern for me. Tank cannot chase, so wasn't really going to be following anything up. I'll just sling a nice shot right into that hatch. This close range Ferdinand can actually hit stuff. If I had gold, I could probably go for the T28 turret, but I don't. T28 looks a lot like the T32, but the armor model on the turret actually is a bit weaker. I think the hatch on both of them is pretty easily pinnable. But now we picked up our first kill, about 1,300 damage, so about halfway there. Now with that, just 1,500 more damage, one more kill, and we'll be able to clear this up. So we are pretty handily winning this. I have no chance of chasing those Centurions, so just gotta get a little bit more damage in here. Now on both sides I've got people kind of moving up. And with that 500 alpha, I can just punch 2 more hits into them and get the kill, and it'll be good. Hindsight, I probably should have taken the 53 TP kill there. That would have been guaranteed. Now I just need to get a little bit more damage. As is, I do run the risk of not being able to get another kill, especially because this guy behind me, 600 hit points, is not actually in one-shot range. And again, I decide, rather than shooting the defender to my right, I'm just going to go get the T32. In fact, if I was unlucky, T32 easily could have gotten killed, or the defender could have killed me. But, as we see, works out. And naturally we're able to clean this up, and I have T15 done, leaving us with just MT15 to get us a T28 HTC. Finally, we're gonna take out MT15 to get us our T28 HTC. Right now I'm rolling around in the Object 430. I've been making a bit more progress on the Russian medium line, just because they're real easy to play. So for this one, we need to get 1,000 hit points of damage to enemy tank destroyers, destroy 2 enemy tank destroyers, cause damage to 6 enemy vehicles, and win the battle. Those aren't too hard on their own, it's just gonna be a little tricky when there aren't a lot of tank destroyers in the game. And as you can see, we got a Sturv up here and an SU-101. That's got 1,500 and 1,100 hit points respectively, meaning there's only 2,600 hit points of TD in the game. I have to kill both of them. So right here, we're just picking up a little bit of extra, a little bit of those damage vehicles because we need to damage 6 of them throughout the course of the battle. And the Object 430 is really showing how well it works at range. The Object 430, really nice tier 9, especially stock. Out of the box, it's got this 238 390 alpha gun. There's no gun upgrade or turret upgrade, so it starts as pretty much a workable tank from the get-go. Don't really need tons of experience going into it, which is pretty nice, especially for a free-to-play account. So I see the SU-101 spotted. I know I can't really rush out there. I think he just took a hit, which is not great news. Yeah, he's down to 100 hit points. So I know I gotta kill him, so I peek out, take a cheeky shot, whatever. And even though I'm aiming the back of him, unfortunately I miss. So I figured, okay, I can still safely go for another shot. And I miss another easy shot. I a little bit overcompensated on the right, and went right over his energy deck. So, you know what they say, 3rd time's the charm, and finally got him with the worst shot yet. But we got him, and I think we should G at me, so still got pretty much full health. Now, I still need to hit 2 other vehicles besides the Sturv that we'll need to kill. And I don't really know where the Sturv is. I'm kind of worried, you know, up in A4, TD's like to hang out there, and if he is up there, I'm not really going to be able to do much about him. Now, I believe I have a 122mm gun. Yeah, so that means that I can overmatch a Sturv with its 40mm of armor, which could be very important later. So I figure, you know, we need to damage a few more vehicles, so I'll just head on over here and see if I can get some cheeky side shots. Now, we are in a battle of tier 10s, but honestly, 430 can really hold its own, so that's not too much of a worry. Although they already could really ruin my day. A pretty good battle for us on both sides. We pretty much got the east, and we're doing well in the west as well. Ghost Town is a really interesting map, I think. Especially like to take the 9-line scouting when I can. So at this point, got my tanks damaged, and I figure I might as well push up, and it works out. Weird this happens to be right here. So I just need to not get lit up by everybody, so kind of get shot from the style. He's not too much of a threat. So I use the serve a little bit for cover. I'm really worried that he's going to get stolen from me. I switched to HE because I know I can pen the back of him, and fortunately I don't low roll, and I'm able to pick off the serve. So with this complete, I've got all the damage vehicles I need, and we're up 6 tanks, now 7 tanks. That lands us at T28 HTC, and we are going to be going on to the T58 missions next episode. So of 863 battles, we finally get the T28 HTC, and now we can move on to the T58 missions.